Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am going to do a video of some items that I love that everyone else seems to hate, or at least doesn't like too much. But for whatever reason, I can make these products work, and I'm going to share those with you today. Maybe you have them in your collection and you can't make them work, you don't like them. Or maybe you're one of those ones that you do have them in your collection and you don't understand because you enjoy them too, and you hear a lot of people talk smack about them and you don't know why. So starting off, the first item that I have here is by Physicians Formula, and it is the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade Light. And it looks like this. I did lose the top, and it does come with this little sponge too, and I am including this sponge as well because I do actually like this sponge. Now, for this particular concealer, most of the complaints that I have heard on this are from the packaging because it's a pain in the butt to get out of this little pump that they have on it, which I do completely agree, and also the shade range is ridiculous, which it's Physicians Formula, so we all know how they are with their shade ranges. I believe it comes in 3 or 4 shades, maybe more now, I'm not sure. This is the shade Light, and it is pretty dark. And again, I will show you a pump of it just because it does come out. You can't do a half pump, and so you get a lot of product, and it's very full coverage. So I will try and show you. You try and do half a pump, and that's about all you can get. Or that's about all you get. Not all you get. It's very hard to do just half a pump, and you get quite a bit of product from that. It's pretty full coverage, and so, I mean, you get much more than you actually need. And when you blend it out, keeping in mind that I have gotten quite a tan this summer so far, so even now, like this for my under eyes is not too light for me. It might look like it on camera, but on my actual face for my under eyes, it's not too bad. It's better when I am a little bit more pale and don't have as much sun. But yeah, this is not a light concealer, especially if this is, I believe this was the lightest shade when I purchased it. So I do understand the complaints with that. If you are very fair, chances are you're not going to find a shade that you like. I do understand the complaints about the pump as well. I'm able to make it work. It's not a big deal for me. I don't go through it super quick. I like the coverage of it, I like the way it wears, I like the way it looks, so those are all pluses for me. So I do enjoy using this particular concealer because it has so many pluses for me. I can work with the pump, and I actually can find shades that work for me in their shade range. Now, along with it is this sponge that they came with, and a lot of people say just throw it out, it's garbage, it doesn't work. And if I wet this, yes, it is garbage, it does not work. But this thing is soft and it blends beautifully when it is dry. I don't have any problems with it when it is dry. It doesn't suck up product or anything, or maybe it does, and that's why it blends it out so nice. I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm blending it out of my hand because it's not really going to do much. But I do enjoy this. It's dirty. It hasn't been cleaned today. But I do use it, not even just for this particular concealer, but I do use it for other concealers as well. I really do like just the texture of it, again, when it is dry. If it's wet, it's garbage. It doesn't work for me. But as a dry sponge, it's one of the few that actually works better, I find, than if it's wet. The next items that I have, I don't know if you can get them easily in North America anymore. I did check. They are on the UK website for this company, and I imagine you could probably find them on Amazon and that sort of thing. These are the Essence Sheer and Shine lipsticks, and I just really like these. I enjoy having a more bold color in a formula like this just because it's not high intensity, it's not in your face, it's sheer, it's like it says, it's sheer and it's shiny, and I really like these particular colors. I have heard other people talk about them here and they don't like the formula of them, they don't like the way they feel on their lips, and I think that just might be a personal preference on what you prefer. And I have read a few blog posts on people that didn't enjoy these either, but I've had no problems with the 3 that I have here. I have BFF, I have I Feel Pretty, and I have Glamour Queen. So here we have BFF, I Feel Pretty, and Glamour Queen, and they're just like a sheer tint of color. They look a lot deeper if you're just looking at it, but they are sheer. They're almost like a glossy balm. I really like them. They're easy, especially for the summertime. It's one of those things I can just throw on my lips. It feels good. I find them moisturizing, and they smell good too. They smell like cocoa powder a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But I really do like these, so if you really enjoy kind of that glossy balm feeling, you might like these. Like I said, they are still available. I did find them on the Essence UK website, and I imagine you find them on Amazon because everything's on Amazon these days. But I do like them. I like these shades. They work for me, and I am so happy that I have them. I'm so happy I picked them up even though I had read negative reviews prior to getting them, because they are one of my summertime go-tos. I like them. Now, the next items that I have are a category in general, and that would be wood pencil liners, whether they be lip liners or eyebrow pencils, even eyeliners. I like them. I enjoy them. I like that I can make them sharp, because the ones that are retractable, unless you buy really expensive ones that actually sharpen it as you're going up, which not many of them do, you still get like that rounded little bulb end on it instead of like a point. And especially if I'm doing my brows, I want to have a point. I want to be able to be precise and cut that line out and fill it in and that sort of thing. So I don't always need to buy a micro brow pencil, because I go through them quite quickly because I'm kind of heavy-handed with them. So I really enjoy, I have two here that I like specifically for brows. I really, really love the wooden pencil ones. I have the Essence one here and I have the e.l.f. one here. They just have some minor differences with their formula. The Essence one is a little bit more creamy, but then when I go to blend it out, sometimes I blend it away completely and I have to fix it a little bit, whereas the e.l.f. one is a little bit more waxy, so it doesn't blend out as much, but it's a little harder to get on, and the color isn't as perfect as I would like. And again, neither one of these brands have a great shade range for their brows, but I do like them because I can sharpen them. I can make them super, this one's been used a little bit, but I can make them super pointy so that I can get in there and just really, I don't have big fluffy brows or anything like that. I have very sparse brows, so I try to, you know, not make a mess of them as much as I can. The e.l.f. one is fantastic because it actually has the little sharpener on it. You just twist it and make a mess and sharpen it. I did a really bad job sharpening it, but you get my drift. So that is why I really like pencil liners, especially for my eyebrows. Even lips, I really like them as well, because I can get that fine tip on there and really, I don't have to worry about making a mess, which I often find I do with a retractable pencil. And so I gravitate actually to wooden pencils, and I actually find that they are creamier, because with a retractable one, the air is getting in, it's getting around the makeup that's in it, and the air is getting down in there too and drying it out as well. Whereas with this, it's pretty well in. I drop something every single video. When you're dealing with a pencil liner, for the most part, there are a few exceptions that are really badly made, but for the most part, if it dries out on the top, you just have to sharpen it and you've got a fresh, kind of creamy, like this is super creamy, pencil again, and all you had to do was sharpen it. Whereas if it's retractable and it's starting to dry out, chances are you got to chuck the whole thing, because it's not going to do you any good. It's gone. It's past its prime. I do sometimes enjoy an eyeliner that's retractable, just because I poke myself in the eye sometimes. I don't need those ones super sharp unless I'm doing something on my upper lash line. I can't usually wear liquid liner just because I have watery eyes, and so I prefer like a gel or a pencil or that sort of thing. So I like it to be sharp if I'm doing my upper lash line, but if I'm doing my lower lash line, it's good if it's a little bit dull, because Leia's gonna poke herself in the eye. But for that reason, I really, really enjoy pencil liners. If you've been struggling with getting the precision that you want in your brows or on your lips, go out and try a pencil one. Some of these things have a bad reputation just because things came out that were newer and better, and maybe they weren't better, they were just newer, and sometimes the old favorites really, really do work well. Keeping that in mind, old favorites that work really, really well, we're going to talk about Spongetip Applicators. Yes, these are our friends. They don't need to be thrown in the garbage. I'm not saying you're going to do a full makeup look with these and have it turn out and look beautiful or anything like that. Investing in good brushes that are going to help you achieve the looks that you want is valuable, but these do have their place and they are valuable as well. And I always get a little annoyed when people say just throw them in the garbage, because they can work so well for you. I am not someone who enjoys using my fingers to put eyeshadow on. You know, if you need to get that intense look and that sort of thing, I don't. I have a hard time getting my fingers in there and not making a mess and whatnot. I don't find I have as much control. And maybe you have like long stiletto nails and you know, you're trying to get it on and you're poking yourself in the eye. That's not a good idea. Maybe you're a makeup artist and you have long stiletto nails. Not a good idea to probably use your finger for that, because you're gonna poke someone in the eye. Or maybe you're just a makeup artist and you don't feel comfortable using your hands on someone's face. My personal feelings on makeup artists using their hands, I think they're tools, and if you can use them effectively and they're clean, I don't see a problem. But I get it if you're a makeup artist and maybe you're doing a bridal party and you don't have time to go and clean your hands between each client. You don't want to be putting your hands all over someone. These are going to be your best friend. Not in every situation, because you're not going to use them for everything, but definitely in those cases when you need to pack on the color. These are going to give you a super intense look, similar to what your finger would do. I'm not going to show you what I'm using here, just because it's going to be on my next thing of things that people don't like. But I'm going to take, I'll just take like a kind of fluffy brush. So I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to take an item, a color here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like with a brush. And you're going to be like, wow, that's kind of a crummy color. You should see the mess it's making while I'm doing this too. So I'm putting this on my hand, and this is the color, and it looks okay, but I had to really build it up, and I have a huge mess on my desk, or on my table right here now. But this is the color, and this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to take my finger, which is what some people would do, and I'm going to build it up a little bit like I did with that. Okay, so this is the brush, this is my finger. Now I'm going to use our little sponge tip applicator. Keeping in mind, I wish I could show you the mess on my desk, but my camera's attached to the ring light, so I can't do that. But this is not making nearly as much of a mess. I'm just going to swipe that on. And this is the one with the sponge tip applicator. I dipped 2 or 3 times for this, twice for this one, and 1 time into the pot for this one. Which one is the best out of all of them? Which one did I get the best color payoff out of? That's right, our handy dandy little sponge tip that everyone says to throw out. So it even worked better than my finger. You can even wet this with some Fix Plus or setting spray and you would get even more of an intense look as well. So for that reason, keep your sponge tip applicators laying around if you have pigments or colors that you want to put on your eyes that just don't give you the color payoff that you want from them. You would be so surprised of what you can get from these little things that everyone says just chuck, just throw them out. Don't do it. These are good. They're your friends. Keep them. So that brings us to our next item, which I actually thought was discontinued, but I looked them up, and they are still available on the Walmart in the States site. I can't find them here in Canada. They're not on the Hard Candy site anymore, but they are on the Walmart and the Amazon US websites. So they are still available if you want to get them, if you're interested in them. I have no idea what sets they came in because I bought 3 sets of 2, but they are the Hard Candy Fierce Effects, what are they? Hard Candy Fierce Effects High Intensity Eyeshadows. And I have, like I said, 3 sets. I have like a gray and a green and a pink and like a coffee color and a bronze and like a champagne color. And I've heard so many people go on about these back when these were first out, about how awful they were and you couldn't get anything out of them and they were just blah. And I had them and I have loved them, and they are very comparable in my opinion. Not as good quality by any means. I'm not going to put them up there with that, but they are more affordable, and I do find that they work. I can get them to work just as well as the L'Oreal Infallible pressed pigments. Is that what they are? L'Oreal Infallible Eyeshadows, whatever these are called. This is the color Amber Rush that everyone loves. I find these so comparable. They are very similar in packaging. This is the L'Oreal here, this is the hard candy here, and like I showed you in that previous clip with the Spongetip Applicators, you can get a really nice look out of these. And they are similar to the L'Oreal packaging in that they do have this fancy little thing, this little stopper thing. You can't throw this out. You have to hold on to this to keep the products from drying out. If you lose this or you don't put the lid on tight enough, they're garbage. They're not. That's why people don't like them or didn't like them, was because they didn't see the potential in them, because they didn't see outside the box on what tool they could use to make it work. So yeah, if you happen to have these and you don't know how to make them work, grab a Spongetip applicator. I'm sure you have one lying around in one of your eyeshadow palettes or something like that. If you don't happen to have any Spongetip applicators lying around at home, run to the dollar store, pick up a pack, probably get it for 50 cents or something like that, and use them with these. You'll be amazed at how much you probably will enjoy these after you try it with a Spongetip applicator. I'm telling you, these are really, really good. The last item that I have to share with you today that I love, that for whatever reason not many other people here do, I found a few but not many, is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I have about 4 shades of these. I only brought 2 down with me. This is my normal shade, which is Sand? Yes. This is Sand and this is Tan. This is what I wear now in the summertime. I really, really love these. It's one of those foundations that I put on in the morning, and then when I look at my face at the end of the day, I'm always impressed with how my skin looks, how it held up. Is it a perfect foundation? No. Does it work for everyone? I have done some makeup on clients, and when I've used this particular foundation, I didn't enjoy how it looked on their skin compared to some other ones. Maybe it's a little finicky, I don't know. I have no problem with it on my skin, but I know that a lot of other people, it doesn't work for them. But it does work for me. I do have normal skin. It does sometimes go slightly oily, not in any way super oily or anything like that. I don't usually have to blot or repowder or anything like that, but by the end of the day, sometimes some of my oils do come through. So that is my skin type, and it does work well for me. I would say I have mature skin. I'm 40 years old, so that is to take into consideration as well. I really enjoy these foundations. They do have a pump. They're a glass bottle. They're beautiful packaging. They're a pain in the butt to get all the product out. I will admit that. Just the nature of the packaging, the pump doesn't work the entire time. So then you end up having to scrape some of it out, and it's hard to get out even with the spatula. So you end up wasting some of the product, but it isn't expensive. I believe it's $9. I believe it's $9 here in Canada. You don't get a full ounce, you get... Why doesn't this one have any information? This one does. You get 20 mils in them. So not a full ounce. I believe a full ounce is what, 30 mils? Something like that. But yeah, not expensive. Maybe worth your try if you're looking for something. I love how it looks on my skin. I love how it works. It's just one of those items that whenever someone says that they don't like it, I'm like, oh, I wish you did. But if you're part of the club that likes it, let me know in the comments below. As a matter of fact, if you enjoy any of these items that I mentioned today, let me know in the comments so that I can find fellow kindred makeup spirits out there who enjoy the same kind of things that I do. Or maybe I've given you inspiration to try a new technique with some of the products that you have that you don't like, because who wants to waste money on products that, you know, they have in their collection that aren't doing anything for them? I don't. If I can make it work, that's all the better. If there are any other items that you can think of that you love that other people hate, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear what items you have that you're kind of like, why doesn't anyone else like these? Or what's wrong with it? I can make it work. I'd like to know. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe while you're at it so you can see future videos as I upload them. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.